oh boy, are we going to skip through a lot of history. But to do this quickly, remember, westward occupation manifests destiny according to the Americans. This is the Louisiana Purchase, and this is Oregon, which is going to be jointly occupied by both the British and the Americans at this time. But as we're moving into the West, the Americans are going to start, especially from the South, are going to start occupying this territory here of Texas. They're called Texans or Anglos in Mexico. And the basic argument that they had was that as they moved into the West, and remember, they're illegally immigrating into this territory. They weren't welcomed by the Mexican government, but there weren't many Mexicans living here. As they move in here, the Texans, the Anglos, were arguing that they would provide a buffer between, I believe it's the Cherokee Plains Indians up here and no, it's not the Cherokee. We'll get back to that. The Native Americans up here, the Plains Indians, and Mexico. So the Texans are acting as a buffer there, and the Mexicans were okay with that, not happy about it. And then in the 1820s, they agreed that they would allow the Americans, now the Anglos here, if they would become Catholic. And remember, these are proud Protestant Americans. And if they agreed not to bring any slaves. So these were the two conditions that were expected, and they had to pay taxes. But by 1830, there's a booming cotton industry, which means we know that they brought slaves. By 1830, the population had gone from about 3,000 to 30,000 white Americans, and they had about 3,000 or 4,000 enslaved people with them. And then in 1834, General Santa Anna essentially becomes the dictator of Mexico and tries to start enforcing the no slaves provision, which then is going to lead the 1835, the Texas settlers to rebel or revolt against the Mexican government. So there's some illegal immigrants in Texas that are trying to overthrow the legitimate government of Mexico.